What's up, party people? Happy third birthday. It's me, your host, Jeff, and joining me, as always, in person is my friend, Lacan. Say hi, Lacan.
Hello, everyone.
We made it.
We did it. This is a big time for us.
3 years. Who has a podcast that lasts 3 years?
I think I saw a stat in the first year we did this.
Right.
Where we made more content than 95% of podcasts.
Yeah, right?
And we didn't even start at the beginning of the year. We started in like April or May.
Yeah, but
which is wild.
Every 2 weeks, man. You're going to get that episode.
Yeah, we try our best.
Yeah.
I think we've been pretty good about it.
We have been pretty good. Despite we've been better, I feel like, now. I think just because it's a routine for me at this point, than we were even like when we first started doing this, right? So, it's been pretty cool. We've been talking about doing more, and it's something that I've been really, really honed in on, right? Trying to do a little bit more around here, more than just the podcast. But look, the podcast is the bread and butter. It's year 3. So we wanted to celebrate with another top 5 list. And I threw a few ideas at you. We'll probably do the other ones at some point, but this is going to be, as you can see by the title, probably, of course, as I just hit the mic stand, sorry. By the way, I am sitting in basically what amounts to like one of those children's gliders. Lacan's like, I got a comfy chair for you. And I come in here and it's literally just like a children's glider.
It's like a hammock camping chair, basically. Yeah. This thing rules, first off.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's super comfy. Don't lean back too hard. You're going to fall asleep.
Yeah, I know. For sure.
It's an outdoor chair, but I keep it in my room because it's so comfy.
Right.
It folds away.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I want to lounge when I'm playing video games, I actually use it instead of sitting on my computer table, basically. So, yeah, I was like, you know what, Jeff, your back's been hurting the last couple of days. Let's get you something, just to recline in a little bit.
Yeah, thanks. Needed that. Definitely needed that.
I got you.
Thank you. Anyway.
Now I can look at your toes from an angle.
Yeah, right? Well, that's why I kept the socks on, because I'm like, fuck that shit.
Damn it. Yeah. Let me into your life, Jeff, please.
You don't want to see. These toes are fucking... I played 1 year and a week of football. These toes are fucking gross. I can only imagine what like guys that played in the NFL for 15 years feet look like. Let's finally introduce this episode here.
Okay.
This is the top 5 threequels, basically, like the third of a game, because we wanted to celebrate the 3rd-year anniversary of Party XP.
Yeah.
So it's the third games in a series, games only, so no Godfather 3, no Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. This is going to be strictly games. I did throw movies out there. I was also thinking, I was driving home from the mall the other day. I was like, we should do albums one day.
That would be pretty good.
We should do music one of these days.
I definitely pitched the idea of like video game music to you at one point.
Yeah.
Which, because I'm a nerd, you already know me. And there's definitely some games with banger soundtracks that we talked about, and we want to dive into them. But like just straight up any music we think of, I think would actually be pretty fun to do.
I'm pretty sure my top 5 list would just be 5 songs from Street Fighter 2. It would just be 5 themes from Street Fighter 2. It would just be like Ryu,
Balrog. Good soundtrack.
Yeah, it would just be them. And maybe a game on this list would appear on that list too.
Ooh, okay.
But yeah, we're gonna talk threequels here. I know the third of a lot of games aren't always enjoyed a lot, but sometimes, and I think with a lot of these games, the third game is kind of when everybody finds their groove, right? When certain companies find their groove and really, really, get it going here, right?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, like in movies, I feel like usually the third is like the reset after a meh 2.
Yeah.
Right. We talked about this before. I think video games, more often than not, I think they're usually a stronger one within the series. And I think, but the thing is with video games, I think because the experience is so different, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw out one that's not on my list, but I think kind of like a honorable mention, right? Halo 3.
Wow, this isn't on your list.
No.
Wow. Okay.
But everyone loves Halo 2 more.
Right.
I'm like, why? And I understand, like, sure, it was like one of the first games that was on Xbox 360.
No,
Xbox One. It's still original Xbox. Okay, so original Xbox. I understand if like you spent more time with it technically at the time, and like, but the thing is, like, I look at it from like back then, I didn't like the balance of Halo 2.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Halo 3 more.
Right.
But like, I know people argue Halo 2 is a better game. I'm on the opposite side. I'm going to argue for Halo 3.
Mm-hmm.
But so kind of again, like, I think it's a better game, but a lot of people don't agree on that. So, but again, more often than not, I think like that's where it does differ from a video game versus a movie trilogy type of thing going on.
Yeah. I think you're right, and I do have a list of OLIs as well as my top 5 here, and Halo 3 was on there,
Mm.
and I thought for sure Halo 3 was going to be on yours, but I put it on there because I know how important it is to a lot of people. Like, I think the people that are slightly younger than us
Hmm.
kind of identify with Halo 3 the way that we identify with Halo 2.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's kind of what it is, because it was there for us. It was the formative Xbox Live multiplayer
Mhm.
experience,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first one that we got to
really like sink our teeth
experience,
into. Yeah.
right, versus those, the kids that came along a little later, where the 360 comes out, Halo 3 comes out. Now this is their first
Yeah.
sort of shooter, right? I don't remember the intricacies of when Call of Duty came out and the Modern Warfare series came out
2007, I want to say. 2000.
in relation to Halo 3,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know, for a lot of people that might be Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 1 might be their, like, the game that brought
Introduced them
into,
to like the online kind of
Mhm.
world. That's fair. That's fair.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I think for Halo 3 that, and I think it's important. I thought it was pretty good. Like, I
Mhm.
don't actually know if I ever finished it. It's been on my, I've been playing the Master Chief Collection forever.
Yeah,
Bouncing
yeah.
back and forth between that and everything else I have going on. But I do want to get back and revisit Halo 3 and all the other Halos as well. So I do have that on my OLI, and I figured, let's get started.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
So I do have a few other games on my OLI. Some that might be a little surprising. Some that might not. So right on top, I have Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on my
Ooh,
OLI.
Okay.
That's how tough this list was.
That's a rough one. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thrilled with Marvel 3. Love that it brought the series back. Thought it did a really great job of being its own game versus trying to just satisfy all the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 heads. It really came out. It had its own sort of aesthetic, its own feel, right? It's the 4-button combo versus it's the light, medium, heavy launcher versus light punch, heavy heavy kick, right? So it's
Mhm.
still a 4-button fighter, but it's different in the way that it presented itself. I love watching this game played. Like, I feel like these guys are incredible when they play this game. Community is still rocking out to this day. There's a fan mod out that introduced so many different characters. You have like Cyclops in the game, Psylocke. I'm pretty sure Sentinel is in the game now. A couple of other characters. It's been a while since I've tuned into there. But love Marvel 3. Thrilled that when it came out, and it's still something that I love to just pick up and knock around in training mode to this day here. Metal Gear Solid 3, again, Snake Eater, stuck in the jungle, right? The music, the gameplay, the boss fights, it's so memorable. I'm very excited for the Delta. What is it, Delta Edition or whatever?
Delta. Yeah. It was basically just a Delta remake at this
Right,
point.
they're just remaking the game, right?
Yeah.
I'm very excited for the remake to come out here.
So funny you say that one. That one is on my list.
That is on your
that
list?
one made the top 5.
All right, so we'll talk more about that in a little bit here.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 3. I don't know if this made your list, but Resident Evil 3 was a formative game in my childhood
Okay.
because I was a child playing this game,
As
and it
was I.
scared the shit out of me.
This was on my OLI.
Yeah.
And I have a very funny memory actually of
Yep.
Resident Evil 3. So I was playing this in the Philippines.
Yep.
On our totally legal PlayStation
Right.
that we bought in the Philippines.
Yeah. That didn't have the eye or the other what was it, like a chip or something?
Yeah, it was like a
in there?
chip or like a laser reader or something.
Yeah.
Something to basically trick the console into reading non-region like locked games basically. Again, we talked about this before. I was a giant baby when I was a
Yeah.
kid, right? Like easily scared, easily like terrified of stuff. And I remember my brother playing through Resident Evil 2, and then I was like, okay, I'll try to get through Resident Evil 2. Too scary. Couldn't play it, basically. Resident Evil 3, because it was a little bit more actiony, right? After
Yeah.
I watched my brother play Resident Evil 2. I was enjoying myself, having a good time, right? I was just like running through one of the levels. The camera just switched over, because again, it was a fixed camera thing, right? Tank controls and all that stuff. The Nemesis busts through the wall. I scream. I throw my controller. Like in the Philippines, like my brother starts losing his shit. I think my older cousin also was there watching me play, and both of them started dying and me freaking the fuck out. Like it was like one of those like panic, like oh shit, and you just you kind of throw the thing.
Yep. Good
Yeah,
enough.
that was me. And like I definitely like yelled through the controller. My Lola came through. Like, what's happening? All she sees is my brother and my cousin just laughing at me, and I was like, I'm going outside. I don't want to be here anymore. This is dumb, and I'm totally not scared. But yeah, very much so. Like my brother brings that memory up a lot,
Right.
and I'm like, man, if only I had some blackmail on him. I don't, because unfortunately, a lot of the dumb moments that happen in our lives was to me, not
Right.
him. So there we
Of
go.
course.
But Resident Evil 3 was so good,
yeah,
though.
it is.
Sad.
And
Like I went back and played it, I think, when I was older, and that was actually the first Yeah, that was the first Resident Evil game that I beat.
Yeah.
I beat that. Then I went back to 1 and then 2.
Mhm.
At least in the original PlayStation 1 games. So
I got 2 more here.
Mhm.
I'm going to shout out Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I just think having
Ooh.
Mortal Kombat,
Okay.
you know, obviously,
just have it on the list. Representation's good.
right. And I think I really like the third Mortal Kombat games. I like the roster. I like kind of how the game feels versus the original 2. I spent a lot of time with it growing up, right? So I think that's got to be on the list here.
Mhm.
And I think one that for a lot of us in like this 30 mid to late 30s, kind of early 40s range might have on their list too is Grand Theft Auto 3.
Okay, yeah, that's also on my OLI.
Yeah, definitely. I
Just
think
missed it.
you want to talk about a formative game coming out of nowhere, changing the way that you experience games forever. I mean, GTA 3 was that, man. Like to just have that open world concept for the first time really ever. Oh, and by the way, you can just like blow shit up and shoot people and whatever, right? Do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Definitely not a game kids should have been playing, but
No.
again, super formative. I haven't gone back and played it as an adult though, like a true adult, maybe like into my 20s and 30s, and it is something I probably should do, but I haven't.
I played it. I want to say like maybe like 4 years ago.
Right.
Again, during the middle of the lockdown, I was like, I'm just gonna, you know what? I was getting back into some emulation stuff. I was just like
Yeah.
just trying some stuff out basically, and I remember just kind of like playing it, throwing it on there. I was like, I wonder what if these games are more difficult to run or not.
Mhm.
And I just tried it. and I was like, no, it still runs pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought the big open world was gonna make my computer chug more.
Right.
No, ran perfectly fine. Not a crazy
Mhm.
thing or whatever. But yeah, no, like I think it still holds up. Like a lot of the writing's kind of goofy now, right? Because those games were like, it's funny we say this now, right? Because like, what's the other no
Saints Row.
Saints Row? Yeah, how that kind of committed to the whole absurdity of it, right?
Right.
I look back at Grand Theft Auto now, and I'm like, this is also absurd.
Yeah.
Like this is like not, and like in the way that like 4 and 5 can almost be a movie.
Yeah.
3 cannot be a movie. Like the writing is too goofy. The characters are so insane, which insane's fun. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
kind of the whole point of it. But it's just like it holds up in terms of like gameplay still feels true to what the Grand Theft Auto series is. But like I think the writing is like, ooh, yeah, this is definitely like a little bit more aged now. But I think because of us nostalgic wise, like I think we still enjoy this game.
Right.
I think people can still very much so enjoy this game.
So the game that from the PS2 era that I'm most close to is Vice City. For whatever reason.
Same, yeah.
I really dug Vice City. I don't know what it was.
It's the vibes.
I think so. I think it's the 80s soundtrack and the vibes and the, you know, the pastel colors and
Mhm.
the samurai sword, and you go into the strip club and cut off all the heads of the hookers. Was that just me? I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what it was. Right? The whole point of the game was just, especially as a kid, you're like, let me just lash out. Let me just
Right.
do dumb shit, basically, at this
Right.
point. No, absolutely. I think it's the vibes. I think it's like a lot of that, like, nostalgia for, which is funny because it's nostalgia for a thing that we never technically got to experience.
No, I never experienced the 80s. I
Yeah,
was born
exactly.
in 1990.
Yeah. So it's like, it's funny that, like, we have this nostalgia for it, but, like, it's so enjoyable to see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And kind of, like, experience it through a video game.
Right.
In, like, in a goofy video game. Like, it's not a simulator or anything.
No.
But like, we're like, yeah, that seems like what it would be like. It's nothing but blowing hookers, right? That's all of the 80s.
Could you imagine 80s simulator?
Oh my god, honestly I would pay for that just so I can feel it. You know what I mean? I would love to throw it in VR too. Fuck it, get up in there.
But that's all I got.
Okay, so I've got my OLIs here. Max Payne 3.
Okay.
That just missed it.
Yeah.
So the Max Payne series, obviously, very dark, very gritty, right? It's funny because like 3 came out so late. I feel like in comparison, right? Because
Yeah.
Max Payne 1 and 2 came out on the PS2, and then Max Payne 3 got the next gen treatment.
Yep.
At the time, right?
PS3.
PS3 and Xbox 360, right? I
Yep.
believe it was both, yeah. And it's funny because like there was more light scenes in that one, so it didn't feel as gritty. But no, it's like, oh no, you realize there's still a fuck ton of violence in it.
Yep.
So like, even though like, I remember seeing the commercials like, this looks like Miami Vice. Fuck this. There's too much color in my game of doom. You know what I mean? It's like fuck this. And then I remember playing it like super late. I never actually played it initially because I was like, this is dumb. This is a bad game.
Yeah.
I already wrote it off as a kid or teenager, I guess technically when it came
Right.
out. And then I went back and played it. I was like, fuck, this is a really good game. Like shit, this is really good. The writing's obviously very good still.
Yeah.
The action just kind of evolved. It felt
Yeah.
better because obviously we had kind of gotten a grip of like how to control these games at this point.
Right.
Iterating from Max Payne 1, which felt pretty good to be fair. Still, even now, still feels pretty good. But at the time, it felt very cool. 2 was just a slightly more refined version. It's basically the same game. It's more of the story. 3 was like full on like, oh no, this is like a John Woo kind of like.
Right.
This is the game that I've been like looking for my entire life. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it at the time.
It found its swing. It got in the swing of things.
That was exactly it. And so Max Payne 3, very, very good. Very, and like it's not a nice ending, but it's the ending that I think like it needed to be.
right.
You know what I mean? Like just because obviously you're not gonna get a happy ending for Max Payne. Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so this one's actually pretty recent for me. And it's kind of a weird. I'm gonna smash it into our format here. Assassin's Creed, what is it? Revelations, the third Ezio game.
I have it technically, so I will give you a technically.
Okay, cool. So I only played the Assassin's Creed 2 or the Ezio trilogy technically only like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Started. What was the second one? Brotherhood.
Sure.
Yeah, brother. So I played actually all of them. So I played 2, and then I played Brotherhood, and then the Revelations, which is the last one. Because I was like, well, we're locked. Initially, it was like, oh, well, we got nothing else to do,
Yeah.
so fuck it. I'm gonna start playing these games, and I want to see why everyone loves Ezio so much.
Right.
And that's also because I got Syndicate for free.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I asked our friend John. I was like, do I need to know the story for any of these games before I just hop into Syndicate? He's like, play 1, 2, all of the 2s, and then 3, and you're good to go from that point on. And I was like, got it. Okay. So I started slamming through them,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, so Ezio's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, he's pretty
Mhm.
dope. I understand why people like him. And then I got into Brotherhood. I was like, oh fuck, Ezio's really good. He's really well written. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like I'm falling in love with the character. You know, I was like,
Right.
shit, he's really well written. Like the game still holds up pretty well this time. Same with Brotherhood. I was like, damn it, this Revelations. Like, damn it. Okay, fine. Ezio's like the best Assassin's Creed character. Like, I haven't really played many of them, but I've watched a good chunk of it. I was like, he's like the most fleshed out. And I understand people got invested, and it's like, yeah, no, the Ezio, like, but yeah, brother, Revelations really does kind of like put like a nice little end cap on the Ezio trilogy. So I was like, that's gonna just miss it for me because I'm kind of again technicality. So I was like, let me just not count it, but let me just throw it in there. I got one more here, and it is the Siphon Filter game. Siphon Filter 3. I forgot specifically what that one was called, but because the names were all terrible. Because I think it was Siphon Filter 2, and Siphon Filter 3. I don't think there was like a post comment or anything, whatever that was. But yeah, you know, like think about it. Like Siphon Filter was like the competitor-ish, to like the Metal Gear Solid games. You know what I mean? It's like a stealth action shooter game, kind of stealth. There was some pretty good stealth moments in there. It was just obviously it wasn't designed for it, I feel like, but it was definitely there. You know, before like Sam Fisher, you know what I mean? Like
Before Splinter Cell took over.
Yeah, like it's like this is the other tactical stealth game because I can't count Winback in that.
Yeah.
Which if you listeners have ever heard of Winback, you might have. Check it out. I think it's free on the Switch Online. I'm pretty sure they put out the N64 version on Switch Online. So, because that's like a arcadey cover shooter basically. It's not really a stealth game. So, but so yeah, Siphon Filter 1, 2, and 3. 3 was like a nice like ending for like the main story of that game, and of course they had more like Logan's Shadow and the PSV. I forgot what the PS Vita game was, but you know, there's more of it, and it kind of just kept going, like not falling off per se, but it definitely like. It had its moment, and it's definitely dated.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know what I mean?
I get it.
And especially because around this time they were still kind of figuring out how to use analog sticks.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, the controls feel wonky now. So, like, I went back and played it on my little emulator, and I was like, this is a little rough. It plays, but they also don't have a proper control scheme, like, for the aiming and the targeting. And because it's kind of a run and gun game at the same time, but it's also kind of stealthy, and it's like, it's just too much for what they had designed control wise. So it's like it just didn't fit right. But I enjoyed so much the story of like the Siphon Filter games, the anti-terrorism thing. You know, big dramatic. It's almost like what Rainbow Six eventually became.
Right.
You know what I mean? That like these giant shadow organizations stopping terrorists all around the world, kind of thing. So yeah, Siphon Filter 3. Yeah, that just missed out. But it's a nice nostalgic bit for me.
I like that.
Okay, and we're gonna get into the actual top 5 now of each of us. So you want to start off here?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot here. Number 5, Street Fighter 3.
Missed mine too. Actually, I should forgot. I forgot about that one.
That's
But
okay. We'll talk
you know
about
what? I was a latecomer. That's probably why.
Yeah. And you know what it is too. Like for Street Fighter 3, like you have to talk about the 3 versions of Street Fighter 3.
True.
You talk about New
Yeah,
Generation, which has not aged great.
I never played that one.
Yeah, you better.
That's the original one, right?
The original Street Fighter 3
Okay.
is New Generation. Then you have Double Impact.
Or Second Impact.
Second Impact, Double Impact. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's Second Impact,
I think you're right.
which I have played.
Yeah.
I came in late to this game, so I don't know what actually the differences was. I heard it's just balance changes, right?
It's balance changes and new characters.
Oh, okay. So who they add into that one?
So that brings you, it splits Yin and Yang, and you get Akuma, Hugo, and Urien.
So no one that I care about then.
Right.
Well, Yin and Yang are cool,
Yeah.
but I don't play them, but they're cool.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Yeah. So this is the game that really like split them off here. I think this is the game that gave us one of these games adds the oh no. Never mind. I'm insane. The first game added the 3 specials. One of these games adds EX. I don't know if the first game had EX moves. Or like New Generation had EX moves. I don't remember. But what I do know is that, right, so Second Impact comes out. Second Impact was okay, but really everybody kind of thinks about Third Strike when they talk about Street Fighter 3, right? And how like that was a complete package of a game. I mean, tight controls, diverse, fun cast, the music, the soundtrack. It's still probably the best soundtrack in Street Fighter games, if I'm being honest with you. Like, it's definitely, I think, one of, if not the best Street Fighter soundtracks, fighting game soundtracks, period.
I think you could argue for that. Yeah, absolutely.
And even, like, video game soundtracks. I mean, just the full gamut of, like, obviously, like, the New York style hip hop with the dance music, right? You have the
boom bop.
Right. Hugo's and Urien's sort of, like, rock style songs and everything else in between. Like I said, like, I kind of caught it at the tail end. I didn't play too much of it. I wasn't a good parrier growing up, so like it was tough for me to kind of get into it, but these games are still fun. I love watching these games at a high level. I love listening to the soundtrack. Like, I will just put the soundtrack of the game on and work while I'm working and just listen to the whole thing. No skips.
Absolutely.
No skips.
Yeah, I can see
nothing. Even like you have a banger soundtrack when even like the character select music is like great.
Yeah.
Or you still think of like the versus screen,
Yeah.
right? Even like the mini games, the bonus. I'm pretty sure for the bonus stages we used the parry the ball.
We did. Yeah.
Song,
We
right?
definitely did. Yeah, for the bonus.
Because it's so catchy. So like all things considered, I had to put Street Fighter 3 on the list, man. Like it's one of my favorite games. It's definitely one of my favorite games to watch, which I think puts it in like a different category.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's still like entertaining to this day because
Right.
I feel like it's old enough where everyone knows about it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like everyone sees the hype about it. I mean, come on, like Evo.
Right.
like we
Or
don't.
Justin Wong.
Yeah, sorry, Justin. Like we know you're a listener of the show.
Right.
Sorry, dude. Imagine.
Right. You never know.
But like the fact that like that kind of like cemented itself in everyone's mind.
Right.
Even people who aren't fighting game fans know what we're talking about.
Right.
Stylistically, it had a thing going for it. They had a thing that they committed to,
Yeah.
and it just felt right.
Yeah.
I'll sit on the character select screen sometimes, and like every stage, banger. Like it's kind of like in that I'll throw this as not a third game, but like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You know what I mean? Like I will throw that like, in terms of the soundtrack being like amazing all the way through.
You just said a word, and it made me remember something.
Ooh,
A game that is
What is
not on my list
Oh,
that I completely forgot about.
are we gonna go ahead and just go ahead and retcon this into your OLI or onto your list?
We're gonna add an OLI, I think.
Okay.
I'm bumping a game down.
Oh,
I'm bumping a game down because
so what's coming out of your top 5 into the OLI then? Let's do it before we get into my side here then.
Donkey Kong Country 3.
Ah, Okay.
Donkey Kong Country 3 is getting bumped out
Ah.
because this other game has to go up here because I want to talk about the complete package. I want to talk about sound design. I want
Mhm.
to talk about soundtracks and games and gameplay and everything. When it's not even the best Street Fighter 3 in
Ooh.
the series.
Ooh. Okay.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Okay, we'll get there. Okay.
We'll
go.
get there.
Yeah.
But for me, like I know people don't like Donkey Kong Country 3. I love Donkey Kong Country 3.
I
don't
liked
care.
it too. Yeah, same.
I love it. I thought it was so much fun. You talk about music, you lose the I forget the guy who did the music for the first 2 Donkey Kong Countries. He's not around for Donkey Kong Country 3. Everybody kind of hates it. I thought it was charming. I like sort of the map exploration. I like the dichotomy between the characters. I do miss not having Donkey or Diddy because I'm such a fan of the first Donkey Kong.
It was kind of nice though because it changed up the game. You know what I mean? Like
It did.
I understand everyone wants to be Donkey Kong, right?
Right.
Titular character, right?
Right.
But like, it is kind of cool being like, the sidekick, and then
Right.
then a new sidekick getting kind of added into it. It is kind of
Mhm.
cool, right?
And it did change kind of. So it took that DKC2 sort of style where you have the 2 smaller characters and you have
Yes.
like the team up throws and
Mhm.
things like that. And then it's like, well, what happens if you had Donkey Kong? How could Diddy interact with Donkey Kong if he had to pick him up and throw him, right?
Exactly.
So now you have that where Dixie has Kitty, where she can throw Kitty and he can break the environments and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All in all, I think it's certainly super strong. I don't know if it's as memorable as the first 2, and I think that's kind of why it falls a little bit, but it is definitely something that I really appreciate. It's also the first game that I like. It's the first one of the 3 that I like full cleared. I never went back and did it. I full cleared it the first time I played it. I got like the Lost World and everything like that. So, Kremtoa this time. So yeah, like let me put that on there. I do want to shout it out because I do really enjoy it. It is one that I like to go back and play once in a while. Also, I've talked about watching speed runs of games. This is one of my favorite speed runs too. Donkey Kong Country 3 is one of my favorite speed runs because there's less shenanigans. It's a lot of super tight platforming.
Okay.
And I appreciate that. I do like seeing people break the game like in the first 2.
I'm more on that side.
I do like seeing it.
Yeah.
But part of me does also appreciate the complex platforming in that. So
No, absolutely.
that was my side tangent here.
And that is again the reminder that is the one of the top 5 getting bumped down.
Yeah, no, it's getting bumped
This
out.
is now an OLI.
Yeah, this is now an OLI. Street Fighter 3 was my 5th game.
Yeah, your 5th now is the 5th game on the on the list.
And then what's the 5th game on your list?
I'm not gonna go too hard into this one because I already talked about it actually before on the personal top 5 episode from last year.
Mhm.
Super Mario 3.
And we're gonna talk about it later anyway. So.
Oh, okay, there you go. So we're not gonna go too hard to it now. We'll go to it more. Again, this game just holds up so fucking good. And like the fact that it still beats out some of the newer titles in like the Mario, like the 2D Mario games.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. It's so tight.
Right.
It's so well designed. We'll go into it more, but like again, there's a reason why this game like is so like especially in both of ours here.
Yep.
Again, Jeff just sees it now. It's both. It's up here. It's up on both of our top 5s.
Will always be up here.
It's so good
because you talk about again. I hate to say it again, but it is. It's a complete package.
Yeah.
It is a complete package of gameplay, sound design, soundtrack, level diversity, gameplay. Like it's got everything. It's got everything you could ask for.
It's good.
And it's so good.
Again, I think my point that I made in the previous episode that was questioned a little bit was that I rate it higher than Super Mario World. And I remember, like, I don't know, man. I will probably defend it. Like, it might just be because I have more nostalgia for it than I did Super Mario World. But, like, Super Mario 3 is really fucking good. I think people need to go back and actually try Super Mario 3 if they're going to compare it to Super Mario World.
I'm not picking between those 2.
Yeah.
I'll let somebody else fight that fight.
Honestly, it's a hard choice. But, like, for me, it's got to be 3.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Yeah, I'm not picking that between those.
If you don't like it, make your own podcast.
Right? Make your own list. It's my list.
This is our list, damn it.
Right. It's the classic line.
Yeah.
It's my list. Make your own.
And I got this. Mine are. I've kind of numbered mine compared to the previous ones where I've kind of just like no particular order. But this is like my 5. Like this is my solid 5.
Okay. Here's my kinda for number 4 here. The 3rd generation of Pokemon games.
Ah, okay.
Well, because in Pokemon it's not just one you don't have sequels
Yeah,
really. So
yeah.
you have the generations of games, and you talk about a series that really kind of found itself when it came to the third installments. Ruby and Sapphire were really, really, a step up from obviously the Game Boy games, moving to the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
New sound, like everybody remembers the trumpets.
New sound, more
From
character design.
right, new
Yeah.
Pokemon,
Yeah.
gameplay changes, running, right,
Oh
adding
yeah.
adding
I
the
forgot
different
that was added.
yeah, adding the different bikes and things like that, and then getting our first set of remakes, right, Fire Red, Leaf Green, getting
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
re-experience that Kanto world, in a game that wasn't held together by like the skin of its teeth, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You were taking a big swing right when I was getting to the point, and I'm like, I don't want to make him laugh.
Go for it.
Yeah, like it's holding it, a game that was held together by duct tape and dreams. like, it was nice to be able to replay those games. And then obviously you have what many people consider to be the very best of the third games in Emerald.
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
People do argue for that.
Right,
Yeah.
just based on all the additional content that you get,
Mhm.
the battle frontier and all of that. All in all, like it just, I know people have nostalgia for Gen 1 or Gen 2, but for me, like I will, even though I grew up with Gen 1 games, I will come back to Gen 3 more than the other ones, just because again it's a more pleasant experience.
Yeah.
Um
Okay.
and I love the art, I love the direction that the games took. So for me, no doubt in my mind that Pokemon belongs up here.
Absolutely, some of like the best like sprites, I think. Like
Yes.
in terms of the OG pixel sprites.
Yep.
This is around the time that I actually stopped playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
So like I never got to really experience this gen. I did play a little bit of it, if I like because my brother has which ones does he have again? He has Fire Red.
Right.
So I was able to like try it out and kind of like just let me just see what's up kind of thing. I was kind of like jonesing for a hidden nostalgia anyway, and
Yeah.
I want to see what everyone's arguing about, especially like, oh no, the Pokemon games are still pretty good. I was like, I don't know, like I kind of fell off of them at that time. But yeah, no, I understand. Like, especially now that this is funny because like a lot of the music shows up on like a lot of like the reels and like YouTube shorts that I see of specifically talking about like Nintendo stuff or like a lot of some of my favorite YouTubers use like a lot of the music from those games kind of is back as like BGM, and I was like, kind of slaps. What's this from?
Yep,
And then like
exactly.
I'll see on their list of like songs used in the video. It's like, oh shoot, this is from freaking this. I was like, okay, maybe I should check some of these out, and then I'll just go on YouTube and looking for like all the music from those games. Yeah, again, I personally don't have a whole lot of nostalgia for these games, but I understand that this is like the big step in like the first step up from like the real Pokemon like becoming kind of what it is now in terms of what the games are. They expanded it a lot more options to do stuff in game. I know like a lot of side stuff started showing up in these games because I remember like in Gold and Silver, they had like some event stuff, right? But not a lot. Did they start having like daytime, nighttime cycles in the third gen games or no?
Yes, only in Ruby and Sapphire though.
Okay,
And
yeah,
Emerald.
yeah. So okay, so yeah, so I'm not crazy. Okay, so that so because I got to experience that later because when I came back for Diamond, so like okay, so that's a cool mechanic that came out from the third gen that like kind of made its way into the later games. So yeah, again, a lot of innovation and a lot of things they were definitely trying out at the time.
Right.
And from my understanding, a lot of it pretty much hit.
Yeah.
Right. Versus where I know like some Pokemon fans are pretty temperamental at their best days, right?
Yeah.
Where they'll like one day they love this game, the second day they just hate it. But like from my understanding, the Gen 3 was pretty popular overall.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people kind of hating on that gen in the first place. So
that's me. I just played through Leaf Green again.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I've always had Fire Red, so I never played Leaf Green.
Yeah.
So I wanted to experience Leaf Green and try some new Pokemon out. And
Gotcha.
do that playthrough, so that was fun.
Very
and yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Nice little nostalgia kit. And again, same with these games. Like again, they're RPGs, right? But they're like what 30, 40 hours ish, right?
No, I mean you can make it take that long, but usually.
But yeah, how long are we talking about for the Pokemon?
Let's find out. Let me see how long it took me to beat Leaf Green real fast while we do all this.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't think it's that long.
No,
but I think it'll be a nice little 22. So I have 22 hours here, and that's playing at fast speed. So probably about 15 hours, maybe 17 hours, I'd say, to beat the game. really not that bad. Just to pick up and play on lunch breaks and whatnot. Kind of what I was doing, playing at night. You know what I mean? For an hour a night or so.
Pokemon. You want to just put like? Should I just put like Sapphire then? I guess.
Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald,
Yeah,
Fire Red, Leaf Green.
okay.
Gen 3 Pokemon. Fire Red, Leaf Green.
25, 26 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's not terrible then. Or oh, sorry, Pokemon Ruby Omega's a sequel, right?
That's different. That's on the 3DS.
A remake. Okay, so original Pokemon is Ruby and Sapphire. Sorry if I'm talking out of the microphone. Main story 35 hours. If you're playing at a regular speed.
Wow. All right.
At least this is what I mean. Again, this is an aggregate, right?
Get good.
So there you go.
Get good. What the fuck?
People want to experience the game. They want to play shit. Damn, made an extra 73. Jesus Christ.
That's if you do everything.
Completion is 205.
Yeah, it's if you. Well, you gotta catch all the Pokemon.
True.
And you have to trade with games.
Yeah.
That you might not have.
Yeah. Fair. Because even Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, 26 hours, right, for main story.
Right.
Made an extra 53. Completion is 174. That's
Yep.
still a lot of time.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'm assuming because when were shinies introduced?
Gen 2.
Okay, so then so we're talking about you have to grab shinies as well too, then, right?
If you want. Yeah.
Okay. Does that count for completionist or no?
No.
Okay, so just getting everything. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, this is again doable. 35 hours. It makes sense because if you're playing it on a handheld anyway,
Yeah.
you want to be able to put it down and pick it back up, kind of thing. So it makes sense. Okay, word. Yeah. Again, I personally have not a lot of nostalgia for this gen, but I understand the reason why people like this gen so much. Again, as I said before, like some of the best sprite work in the entire series. So, word. Oh yeah.
I didn't have Emerald. I didn't have Sapphire, so maybe that's my next playthrough. Sapphire.
That'd be fun. Hell yeah. Why not? My number 4, I guess
Yep.
now. Okay, my number 4. We mentioned before. It was on your OLI. It makes it in for mine. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Snake Eater.
So this
So
is
good.
where the series is still absurd. I mean, the whole series is absurd,
Yes,
right?
it is.
We understand how kind of goofy 1, 2, the Solid specifically series is, right? This is the moment where Metal Gear Solid 3 no longer become like it's all kind of like inspired by these like 90s and even older spy flicks, right? You know, like Kojima's very inspired by like the 007s and I mean, come on, his name is literally freaking Pliskin in Metal Gear Solid 2. Like he's very inspired by like these old like action / spy movies, right? So this is the one where it's like basically just a love letter to like the 007 stuff, right? There's literally like a love scene between, you know what I mean? Like this a love scene fades to black. There's the long ladder climb where Snake Eater plays, you know what I mean? What if you, Snake Eater. Like that, like it's so good. It's so hammy, but like it plays itself so straight on top of it.
It's the best.
And like here's where we get the oh no, we had it in 2, but in 3 there's a lot more of that like play with the camera during the cutscenes bit, you know what I mean? And like literally the end of the game you put the controller down for like a solid I don't know, like 30 minutes or something like that just to watch ending cutscenes. Again, like I as much as like I know some people don't like that part of the game where it's more of a movie than it is a video game.
Right.
It's still a video game at its heart, you know what I mean? The stealth system's cool, right? The percentage camouflage system's fun.
Yes.
A lot of people said it kind of just dogs the game down. I think it's fun. It's funny. You know what I mean? Throw the little crocodile hat on while you're in the water so you don't get attacked by crocodiles. You can hide from people really easily.
Exactly.
The injury system is like, I don't know. I think around this time, and this is like late-ish PS2 era, I was starting to get really into like intricate systems of shit. You know what I mean? Because especially around this time, I was playing a lot of RPGs.
Yeah.
So I was like,
for sure.
Oh, statuses, healing yourself, dealing with certain mechanics. I was like, oh yeah, just give me all of it. Basically, I wanted a job. Basically,
right?
You know, like a video game. All the dumb stuff that like I remember, like you can get hit in the dick with like a dart or like a crossbow, and you have to like fix it. It was like, oh yeah. It's like you know, like bandages, stitches, and I was like, oh man, that's terrible. Like, this is just absolutely terrible. The eating of the animals, you know, I did everything in this game. Like I got all the little what are the little frog guys? What's the little frog guys again? Kenopi? Is it Kenopi? Yeah. They had the little frog hunt in there. I did all of it. Like this game was just so damn fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like again, like I wasn't good at these stealth games when I was younger because I was so damn impatient.
Right.
Like my brother's really good at these like Metal Gear games because he did the whole like no kill runs.
Jesus.
You know how you get the splash screen at the end of the games, like
Yeah.
octopus or like whatever the animal is. Like basically, it's like it gives you essentially a ranking of what you did during the game, right? My brother did like the no kill anyone runs.
Yeah.
He's done the don't ever get seen
Yeah.
runs, and I'm just like, good for you. I'm not good at these games,
Right.
but I like them. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like, they're just fun to play. It gave me more shit to fuck around with. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I love holding people up and then shooting them in the dick. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, it did it in 2, but 3 was just really funny when you did it.
Right.
Yeah, and again, it's just like it was just like clearly just like a not a parody, but again, it's just like an homage with a little bit of love and a little bit of like, you get it?
Yeah.
You like a nudge, you get it? You see what I'm referencing here? It's like
Yeah.
two of these old like spy movies that I also love and
Right.
enjoy. So, yeah, there's so much in here that's like and especially because it's a prequel, right? Or yeah,
It is a prequel.
yeah. So, there's like you get like a write-in mask to like to blend in. It's like, oh, you're one of the scientists. Looks like a guy who's gonna show up 50 years in the future. No big deal. You know what I mean? It's like, or however the fucking long it is. I forgot at this point.
He's the best.
Yeah, like there's so much goofy shit in it. This is like, roll with it or don't.
Right.
Like Kojima just like, I'm just gonna throw it in there. If you don't like it, fuck you. This is my game, and I respect it so much. You know
He's
what I mean?
the best.
So
Fuck Konami. He's the best. I love him.
all of the memes that come out of
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 3, like all the Revolver Ocelot shit, the time paradox shit, like. I love how the fact that if you do something that fucks up the future storyline, it just fourth wall breaks, including the guy who you're talking. I forget, is it General, the guy who you're actually talking to on the phone instead of Colonel, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, you can't do that. It's gonna fuck up the future. And it's like, wow, you just straight up just broke. Just like told me, hey, you can't do this. This happens in the later game.
Yeah.
Heads up, you can't do this.
Yep.
So it's just funny. You know what I mean? It's funny. It's you're kind of in the world of Kojima at this point.
Right.
It's like, whatever, man. And again, I'm a huge Kojima fanboy. Like, whatever you're down for, bro, I'm down for the ride. I want to see what the fuck goes on in your weird ass head. Without the whole feet scanning thing that he does, but whatever. Everything else is good. But yeah, man. I had like the end. That's such like. Do you remember that the end sniper fight?
Yes.
So like, okay, I played it fucking straight.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whatever. It's my first fucking run of the game.
Right.
I don't really know anything. I'm just kind of playing the game. And then like I remember like hearing rumblings because this is still like early internet, right? It's like if you just move your PS2's internal clock like a week later, he just doesn't show up. I was like, what? So like, and he dies. Like the dude just dies of old age. That's so nuts.
Yeah.
You could shoot him earlier on like one of the docks or something, then he kill him right there, then he explodes, and if you don't dodge, the wheelchair wheel hits you in the face and can kill you. There's so much like weird little shit in this game, you know what I mean, that just makes it so damn enjoyable. And honestly, as absurd as a lot of it is, there's a whole motorcycle gunfight thing going on.
Because of course there is.
And then that giant the final fight against the boss in the flower field.
Of course.
Like, so dramatic.
Right.
It is like it's like at this point it's not goofy, it's like art. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like it is like a cool like the old school Japanese samurai film, just
exactly what it is.
Here we fucking go. And it's like,
Right.
oh, we're no longer playing it straight, but it's kind of humorous. This is just drama at
They're
this
just
point.
playing it straight.
It's so good.
It is.
And then of course like right at the end the salute, you know what I mean? Like that,
Yeah.
that's everywhere.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of memes come out of this game too. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, fantastic fucking game. I'm sure everyone here has basically played it. Delta, can't fucking wait.
Dude.
And cool that most of the cast is basically
Yeah.
back. Is it most or all? Most,
I'm
right?
just gonna say most because
Okay.
I don't know if everybody's back, but
Yeah, but
seems
yeah,
like everybody.
looking forward to it. I'm excited
many
for it.
people are coming back. So.
Yeah. That's my 4, I guess
Right.
technically for my list. Cool.
So what do you want to do? You want to snake it or you want to?
Uh,
We usually snake it.
we usually,
so-
okay, so let me because we had to do a weird bounce back for your
Right.
4 that came out, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do Uncharted 3.
I figured this would be on your list.
Yeah, so Uncharted 3 kind of falls into that same spot before where I said like I think usually the second of a series is like kind of regarded as the weakest entry.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say Uncharted 2 is the second strongest, if not the strongest game in the series.
Yeah.
Only reason why it kind of gets argued for is because 4 is very, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're not gonna talk about that. We're specifically talking 1, 2, and 3, right? I think 3 is a bit like because 2 is so good. I think a lot of people had a bad taste in their mouth from 3, even though it was still solid. It was still a very, very good game. I think it was rated like a 94,
Right.
where Uncharted 2 is like a 97.
Right.
So like, it's a little bit of that, like, it's not a sophomore slump. It's like, it's actually the sophomore year came out very, very good. For the sophomore game came out very good for Naughty Dog, right? 3, I think, had some of the best writing in the series, where a lot of the writing in all of the games is very good because they record them, like, the actors are also all very good. They record a lot of their lines while they're doing the motion capture, so it feels very natural. They're all together when they're doing it. Like, the chemistry between all the actors / characters, right? A lot of really natural dialogue in this game, where like it is kind of like, especially when like the heist starts coming together. There's like, so you see, and one guy interjects. It's like, aha, there you go. Look at you. So, like, kind of synced up. Eyes locked in real quick, and then like you'll see like a fist bump from like Chloe. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, there you go. Yeah. So the characters feel real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of like how they actually interact with each other without feeling super forced. Like where like a lot of like games at this time. I think there was like a writing style kind of thing going on.
Right.
And especially with Nolan North voicing Nathan Drake here. And then even again, the rest of the cast is fantastic. Also like Sully. Sully's like one of the best characters in like games ever. Like, being like the silver fox sly older male character. He's literally like Magnum PI, you know what I mean? Kind of like, but just with even more action and more crazy crazy sets basically, right? The combat, in my opinion, is better than Uncharted 2. Where to be fair, the Uncharted series combat is not like nothing crazy. It's like a 7 out of 10, but the verticality makes it very, very fun. You know what I mean? Kind of like how COD's combat is like a 7 out of 10 in my opinion, but the sound design makes it very, very good. You know what I mean? So it feels right. It feels meaty when you play everything. Yeah. The verticality of Uncharted 3's multiplayer online is really, really fun. Is really goofy. There's like free for all deathmatch. There's like capture the treasures and shit like that. There's like, it's almost kind of like playing like soccer, but for yourself. You're trying to throw your treasure back to your team kind of thing. There's like round based combat like that. The big cinematic moments kind of blend together with the action versus 2. Like, everyone thinks of like the train scene of Uncharted 2. You know what I mean? Like it's like a cold open. You're in the snow. The train's hanging off the cliff. You climb back up, and then you get eventually sent. Once you do that big dramatic scene, you get sent back to a little bit earlier to how you got there. Right? 3 is like, it's more traditional storytelling where you're kind of prepping everything, and then you kind of go in a straight line. But those big cinematic scenes that everyone kind of knows the Uncharted games for is a little bit more interspersed with the rest of the game. It's not just like you don't put your controller down. You're in it. You know what I mean? Kind of
That's
thing.
Good.
Visually, the game's still fantastic. Still holds up. Obviously, they had the remake too for the PS4, right? The Uncharted trilogy, the Nathan Drake collection, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Some big emotional beats as well. Again, the writing's just really good in this game, and again, the characters just feel good. You know what I mean? Like you actually enjoy watching them talk to each other. Basically, the quips, the dramatic lines, the scenes where you're straight up just watching a bit of like a movie. Basically, it's all good. Are there some issues? Yeah, clearly there's some like missing writing bits that like the game's kind of unfinished storytelling wise, because sometimes the bad guys just show up out of nowhere and you're like, how the fuck did they get here? But overall, the game is still very, very good, and I really, really enjoyed the Uncharted series in general. So this kind of like has to go up in my top 5
for sure.
Have you played any of the Uncharted games?
Nope.
No. Okay,
Not
so
a one.
you got nothing. So literally me just full nostalgia bombing here. Nothing for you.
And I'm just thinking of what a thrill.
You never left Metal Gear Solid, basically. You just stayed in it. I mean, fair, yeah, because I know, like, again, like, in that time, I was the PS3 guy out of the group.
Exactly.
Because I think I've already told the story before. Me and Gabe, PS3 guys, eventually Gabe bails on me. So I'm the only PS3 guy in our friend group. And I'm like, guys, I swear, there's some really good games on here. You guys need to try it out.
I did join you.
You did.
I did buy a PS3.
Yes.
I didn't get to a lot of the exclusives just because of what I was going through. Like I bought a PS3 to play fighting games against different people.
Yeah.
Was basically the gist
different
of it.
pool. Yeah.
Right, was basically the gist of it. And then to pick up a few other things, like I ended up getting a few other like exclusives that were only on the PS3 and PS4. But no, I missed Uncharted.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
missed out. Okay, so listeners, thank you for at least joining with me on this part, as Jeff just was literally just in the Snake Eater theme,
Right.
just in his head, basically.
Yeah, and then I'm getting ready for my number 3
Ooh,
here.
Let's go.
So this shouldn't shock a lot of people. It's a game that I've talked about quite a bit, a very formative game in my life. This would be Warcraft 3.
Okay. Yeah.
So Warcraft 3 and the Frozen Throne, of
I
course.
should have been thinking about it. Yeah, I didn't even think about Warcraft 3.
just super formative. Kind of like, honestly, it's kind of like the odd game out of like my library. Not the hugest RTS fan outside of Warcraft,
Okay.
but I think it has to do a lot of with the story, the
Oh
gameplay,
yeah, no, the
kind of.
story's good in
Right.
Warcraft 3.
Especially in Warcraft 3, where again, like we keep talking about getting into the swing and kind of having that climactic moment, and a lot of that stuff in Warcraft 3 kind of brings the story there.
Mm-hmm.
It's where Arthas becomes the Lich King, or not the Lich King, but he becomes a Death Knight.
Yeah.
Kind of sets the stage for World of Warcraft story,
Mhm.
where you have the split between the true like blood feud split between the Alliance and the Horde.
Mm-hmm.
It's Thrall basically earning his stripes and becoming like the war chief of the Horde, being that dude, and all that. This is where Illidan consumes the Skull of Gul'dan and becomes. Now it's time for your eyes to glaze over.
Here's the thing, though, I know a lot of these characters because Gabe
Right.
played a lot of
Right,
Warcraft.
and,
So like
and Tim obviously
yeah,
too.
and like so you three, enough of you guys talking about over the
Right.
years, I actually understand and know some of these characters, and also because I played like Heroes of the Storm, so I was
Yeah.
able to get a little bit of from
Yep.
there to Rip Heroes of the Storm, but like
I know, Rip Heroes of the
yeah,
Storm,
but
it
like
was fun.
I know some of these characters and their stories because of like how much they played World of Warcraft. So
Yep.
like knowing how they come to be in a game previous to it is kind of like, oh, this is very, very genuinely very interesting.
Yeah.
And I played a little bit of Warcraft 3 actually, like a little
Yeah.
bit. Like I want to say like I was a kid, so it's hard for me to gauge it at this point. But it's
Mhm.
like I probably played around like 20 hours, 30 hours
Yeah.
of it. So it's not a lot in terms of like our RTS game.
Yeah.
But like you definitely can get through the campaign in like a decent amount of the campaign in a short
Definitely.
amount of time.
Love the campaign. I have played through that campaign multiple times. Obviously, as far as like a competitive RTS player, because again, it's kind of the outlier. I'm not really great at RTS games.
RTS games are rough to be good at.
Right.
Basically, that's why.
Agreed. But I think what makes Warcraft so interesting and so unique and stands out to me so much are the hero characters, because you can kind of put names to them and faces to them, and you can again build a story around some of these heroic characters. And then again, you talk about sort of games finding their stride and building those formative memories. Me playing the custom games on Warcraft 3, whether that was doing like RPs, whether that was doing Dota, tower defense, gladiators. I keep talking about gladiators. It's basically just Dota without the creeps.
Yeah. I remember a little bit of it.
Right.
So.
So you have all those moments, right? Just building those memories, just playing those custom games, playing the campaign, and then what it turned into for me and for so many others, a whole life of World of Warcraft, right?
Yeah.
Building again more formative memories, getting used to learning more about these characters, getting closer to these characters. So again, like for me, Warcraft 3 is definitely a formative game in my life, in my list. So that's why it's number 3 for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was my cousin actually who was into it.
Yeah.
So he played more of it. He tried to get me into it.
Yeah.
Again, I enjoyed it when I would go to his place and we'd play it. But
Right.
it's just like I didn't get to the rest of the stuff. You know what I mean? Like the custom game stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't get fully into the multiplayer of it because I was actually playing a different RTS at the time.
You're playing Age of Empires.
Yeah, I was an Age of Empires 2
Yeah.
and 3 guy. So I like the big siege fights. That's why I drew to those ones more than I did for regular Warcraft 3. But
Right.
Warcraft 3 did have like that's the thing, like where Age of Empires has like, oh no, like real historic characters and they're just like those are your legendary characters, right?
Yeah.
No, like you have these myths and these giant stories being told and developed, in Warcraft 3,
Right.
and you get to see like those stories expand even more, obviously leading into World of Warcraft. So it's like it's cool seeing like how these stories like how it happens in the lore, and then you get to see how like the repercussions of it later on down the line. Yeah, no, it's super interesting. And I kind of wish I got more into that, especially as a kid. But when did Warcraft 3 come out?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Oh, it's been a while, my man. Okay, so I'll tell you this: The Frozen Throne came out in 2003.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
So
yeah.
2002 is the original release of Warcraft 3.
Yes, I would have been 12.
We were 12 when it came
Yeah.
out. Right, we were middle school.
Final Fantasy X came out like a couple years before that,
Yeah.
or the year before that. I was probably playing that. I was probably playing a lot of console stuff. Metroid
sure.
Prime came out this year. Vice City. Yeah, there we go. So that's probably what I would have been distracted by.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been playing PC stuff, especially because I remember at the time too as well. Like our PC wasn't it was like an old gateway at the time.
Right,
So
right,
like
right.
it
Yep.
was just like, oh no, this is meant for work only kind of thing. You know what I mean? Didn't even have a graphics card kind of
Yep.
deal. And this is around the time that games required like a full on graphics processor
Correct.
at this point, right? Okay,
Right.
yeah. So I wouldn't even be able to touch a lot of this stuff. Age of Empires could run on like a calculator. It's kind of like Doom in that sense. You know what I mean? Where I think like our next computer was able to like run a lot of more stuff, but this time like I didn't really have a working computer. Kingdom Hearts. There we go. That's another game.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have been playing a lot of that stuff around then, so that's probably why I missed out on it. Basically, I definitely made my return to PC gaming a little bit later, later than you. So, but you know, again, I kind of wish that I didn't miss this era. I would have would have liked to see more of how the different sections of gamers started splitting between like World of Warcraft, or Warcraft, Age of Empires, and then like StarCraft as
Right.
well. You know, at the time. So,
Definitely.
but yeah, no, absolutely, it's a cool game. I just wish I got into it.
For sure. I'm up next. This is the game that bumped DKC3
Okay.
out of it. Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Okay.
Yeah, you said it. Or at least I think you said it when you were talking about Street Fighter 3. And I was like, shit, I talk about this game all the fucking time. How did I not put this game on my list of threes? Okay, you talk about a game, formative game, complete package, memorable sound design, memorable sprites, memorable visuals, and all of that, memorable gameplay elements. I mean, this game had everything for me growing up. The World Tour mode, where basically it's like a single player sort of experience with different sorts of gameplay challenges. You have a character that you level up, culminates in a big a boss fight with Bison, and he's got like a super meter that's different. It has a Shadowloo logo on it. It's scary. You're fighting in a thunderstorm. Man, this is another one where I'll just put the soundtrack on and let it go, because all of these songs are complete bangers. It has my favorite menuing sounds of all time, the bring it sound.
Oh, that's from this game. Okay.
Yes, that's from this game.
I never played a lot of Alpha 3 at all,
Right.
if not any. I'm looking at some stills now, and I'm like, oh, I realize, some of these are the sprites that I recognize the most.
Yeah.
Like, even over Third Strike, to an extent. You know what I mean? Some of these, I'm like, yeah, I actually think I've seen more of this Mika than anything else from this game, right?
Right. Well, think about it too. These are the sprites, because this is the PS1 era sprites. So these are the Marvel vs. Capcom sprites. These are the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 sprites.
Okay.
These are the X-Men vs. Street Fighter sprites,
Got it.
and all of that.
So this is probably why I recognize these so much then. Okay, cool.
Mhm, exactly. So there's so much of this that just transcends Alpha 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I played the crap out of this game on PS1. I played the crap out of this game when they remade it on PSP. I played the crap out of this game again when they re-released it in the Fighting Collection, right? One of the Fighting Collections has Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could play this game forever. I have it on my phone. I've been playing the PSP version on my phone. This is one of my favorite fighting games of all time. It's not the game that I'm the best at. So like, I don't play it as much.
Okay.
But, or no, Street Fighter Anniversary has it, not Capcom Fighting Collection. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I'm not great at it. But it is one of my favorite fighting games of all time, and I would be completely, just like I'm still kicking myself for not putting Phantom Pain on our best games of all time list.
Mm-hmm.
I would be kicking myself until the 6th anniversary
If you didn't put this
if I didn't put Alpha 3 on here.
Got it,
So
okay.
thank God you jogged my memory on this, because I would have been kicking myself if I did not put this game on here.
So this one, I know a little bit about this in terms of like, I know about this because it throws me the hell off.
Right.
This is the one that has like the A-ism, X-ism, V-ism styles,
Correct.
right?
Right.
Okay,
So you
cool.
have the different isms, which is kind of like the precursor to the grooves in Capcom vs. SNK.
Okay, which I never experienced either because I didn't play those games either.
Oh, well, you missed out.
Yeah. Well, again, I was a 3D fighting game guy.
Yeah,
Remember? So
I know.
I would. So I've seen the X-ism stuff and other in like, yeah, it might have been one of the Capcom Collection games. Then yeah, it must have been because I've seen it. But like, what's the differences between all that stuff? Like gameplay differences, like what it makes this game so like such a standout in your opinion then?
So for me, it has very little to do with the actual
Gameplay.
mechanics.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
It's a lot of just the aesthetics and the music and the time that I played it as a child,
Okay.
and what it kind of like brought me to, and all of that. I will say the gameplay is a lot of fun.
Okay.
I use Aism, which is the 3-tiered sort of super bar that kind of you're kind of used to, right?
Okay.
Vism is the custom combo, which is kind of the big thing that this game was sort of built upon from the second game, where you can, you do a custom combo, right? Xism is just one big super bar. Nobody uses it because it actively nerfs you, and you only have one bar to do your super move. And I think they even put restrictions on what supers you have access to. Like you can't use level 3s with your Xism.
Okay.
So there's really no reason to use it. You only generally, if you're playing competitively, you only use Vism. I think certain characters use Aism, but everybody uses custom combo because it does the most damage and it's the best thing to do.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I was just kind of curious because I'm a latecomer to the 2D stuff, especially with all the different iterations of the Street Fighter games.
Right.
I was like, now we realize, oh, these are the sprites I recognize because I played the Marvel vs. Capcom games. That makes sense now, and the X-Men versus Street Fighter and so on and so forth, right? Yep. But yeah, like in terms of like the gameplay stuff, is like it looks so different and it kind of scares me to an extent. You know what I mean? Because again, like I'm so late to the game,
right?
And I don't understand all these like little. These fine details, you know what I mean, of like what makes this fighting game so different from this one, so on and so forth. I tend to play Street Fighter 2 HD Remix the same way that I play Street Fighter 4, the same way that I play Street Fighter 6.
I mean, same, but like with a few different things. But no, like I get it. I get it completely. It is scary, and again, it is one of those games that I like to watch because I can't hit those levels that the top players hit in this game. But it's just I can, like I said, like I could just listen to the sound design. I could just listen to people go through the menus of this game.
I'll definitely check this out because now I want to kind of throw it on like a YouTube video or something, just like kind of hear what's going on, kind of thing in this game.
I love the sound design of this game so much, and I'm so happy that I remembered to put it on my list because if not, like I said, I'd be kicking myself forever. But I love this game so much, and I can't wait to go play it again.
Is there a specific character addition to this game that like is like a big deal for you here?
No, I play the same fucking character in every Street Fighter game. He's the guy on the box of every Street Fighter game. But no, there are some cool different characters here. So this is the first time that I got to experience Evil Ryu.
Is this where he got introduced?
I don't think this is where he got introduced, but this is definitely the game that like kind of put him on my radar.
Okay.
I think he was in Alpha 2, but I didn't play a lot of Alpha 2.
Cody, was he in this game? In a game before?
Cody, all the Final Fight guys were in this game. Cody Guy.
Okay, cool.
This is also where I started playing Sagat for like the first time. Because like once and also this was my first real experience with like Dan. Because again I didn't play Alpha 1 and Alpha 2 all that much. So for Alpha 3 I just saw this goofy little ripoff of Ryu and I was like, oh, this guy's funny. I like him.
I know Karen got introduced in this game.
Yeah, so this is Karen, this is Mika, this is Rose gets introduced in these series.
Oh, Rose was in this game.
Sakura, yeah.
Wait, Sakura was introduced in this game?
Sakura was introduced in the Alpha series,
2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, word.
A lot of different characters too. So this is like they bring Adon and Birdie back. Charlie instead of Guile, but Guile ends up getting added in like the console ports of certain games.
Okay, gotcha.
So I think that's I thought that was really cool that like they had console exclusive characters, and then even still in the PSP port you had Ingrid from Capcom Fighting Evolution. You had just a couple of other different things that you could do in the PSP version. I played a lot of that too. Just because, I spent a lot of time with that PSP, man.
Word. No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, again, kind of like a blind spot for me personally, as I mentioned before.
I know.
But yeah, I'd like to check it out just because you're talking so much about the sound design and music of this game, so I'm definitely just gonna check that out because now I'm interested in that. Yeah, cool. Hell yeah. Good thing that jogged your memory, I think. Apparently.
Yeah, no, you definitely did. So thank you. This was and it's crazy because I had just, like I said, I was just playing it. Like I just reacquired it and have been playing it on the PSP.
Nice
emulator. Emulator. But I did own this game at one point, so
word. Yeah,
whatever.
Absolutely.
Leave me alone.
I think I actually might have this game. Like
I'm sure
I've never played it, but I think I have it.
I'm sure you do.
So there you go. Okay, cool. let's see. Swinging over back to me.
Yeah. So this is your number 2, I think, right?
Like yeah, kind of. Yeah, again, I was kind of like not in order, but kind of in order, whatever. This is a little bit more recent, a bit more emotional for me in terms of like the game I got to experience with my brother, Gears 3.
Yep. I know. Should have been on my list.
Yeah. So it's funny, right? So this is the Gears of War, right? The big
Yeah.
men shoot big guns, create big boom, save the world. That's kind of
Yep.
like what this game should be, right? But there are scenes in this game that make me fucking cry.
Yeah,
like
man.
this is like the aesthetic of this game, right? Our protagonists are like more worn down.
Yeah.
They're like beleaguered from the constant conflict and the onslaught of enemy, of the locust and the lambent kind of start. Lambent? Yeah. No, the lambent kind of starting to show up in this game. And like as much as this game about like over the top violence, like literally a shotgun explodes a person, you know what I mean? It has this moment of humor, right? Ice-T just shows up in this game. Like it's anything that what's the name of his fucking character? I forgot his name.
I do too.
Anytime he talks, I'm just like, ha, that's Ice-T. It's really funny. I'm not gonna complain about it. Yeah, there's like moments of humor and there's like, big emotional beats, right? Like obviously this is the game where, spoiler alert, if you haven't played a 10-plus-year-old game at this point, Dom
10?
dies.
I was gonna say 10.
Yeah,
This
right.
is probably almost 20 years
Yeah,
old.
I was saying 15, 20 years old at this
Yeah.
point. This is the game
Dom
where
dies,
Dom
yep.
dies, right? Like he realized his wife was dead in the second game, and then he finally gets back to her home, right, in this game, and then he realizes this might as well be it for him, right? He has nothing else to fight for, and if he sacrifices himself to help the rest of his team out, it's like the best case scenario for them. He already accepted it at that point. And even much earlier in the game, we see it on him. He's a different person at this point. He has the beard now. He's kind of, you can see
Yeah.
like on his emotionally, he's not as just like raw angry in the games, right?
Yep,
You're like,
yep,
this is
yep.
like a softer Dom. And again, I was just playing with Gabe, and we're just like, because this is literally a game about like brothers, like not like literal brothers, but like the war, like the bond between like brothers in arms, right?
Yeah.
And at this point, we're like, Gabe and I are like 2021 when this game comes out, and we know where the story's gonna go, right? We know that Dom's kind of like done at this point, story wise. So, we still feel bummed when it happens, So,
Yep, yep.
I think like maybe if you look back at it now, with in like a modern lens, like yeah, it may feel a little hitchy at this point now, maybe a little hokey, right? In the way it's written, the way it's the way it's framed, and the way they kind of show it, right? They have the song going on as Dom sacrificing himself, but I think genuinely, like, yeah, the game still has pretty good writing overall. Again, for what it is, for an extremely violent, shooter. And it has some decent emotional beats. I don't know. I think it holds up pretty good actually overall. Some of my favorite multiplayer experiences was in this series, and specifically in this game, because this is the first one that had the multiplayer beta before the game came out. So like I played a little bit of Gears 2, right? And Gears 1 multiplayer. Right. Because there's all the time we're starting to get into the multiplayer online.
Yep.
We're all starting to come online here, right? So I got into 2 late because Gabe was playing with a lot of the GameStop crew. And then I came on, and it like clicked for me. Like I started like really learning a lot of the stuff mechanically in this game, like how to wall bounce and crab walk and all this other shit. You know what I mean? There was a memory of us playing the multiplayer beta till like 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Just slamming it nonstop.
Yeah, man.
The game finally comes out. They changed where the weapons are. I'm like, where's my goddamn boom shot?
Yep.
We realize it's the digger. I'm like, absolutely not. This is blasphemy. So we're still ripping people, but it's like, ah, damn it! Like, how dare they change the weapon on this map? I get it. It's for balance changes. I get it. And then the one memory I've got specifically of this game was Gabe, myself, and our friend Adrian from New York, and we learned Adrian plays this game. We're like, okay, cool. Like, so are you good? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty solid. I'm like, yeah, me and Gabe are like, we're pretty solid. We play this game pretty good. And we hop into 3, just kind of initially casual, right? It was like, let's just kind of warm up and see how we play together, right? Immediate click, all of us on the same boat. Like, okay, cool, nice. This is our 3-man. This is not bad, right? We got a nice majority of a squad here going on, right? We keep playing, like, months go by. We just start getting good at this game. We started playing ranked, you know what I mean? We actually started doing the other shit. And then I remember one night there was like another 3-man from Gabe's GameStop friends. I think it was like Kurt, Saul, and what's his name? Tom?
Sure.
Yeah. So like
Tom, I know a Tom. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like, okay, hey, they see Gabe's online, so that they message Gabe He's like, hey, you want to you want to hop in with us? And Gabe's like, oh no, I'm already squatted up. It's like, okay, you're fine, whatever. We'll just have a good time, right? We're playing like a lot.
Yeah.
Like we eventually run into them in like lobbies.
Nice.
And we're like, because this is a casual night. We're kind of just like, we just want to stomp people. We're just like only playing deathmatch or King of the what's the one where you like protect the one guy so you can keep respawning, whatever that game mode is, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it. It's like it's basically like president. You know what I mean? It's like protect the president.
Mr. President.
And we slammed them. Like
no.
even like we lost like 4 stock, like 4 lives out of the 25
Nice.
or whatever the hell it is. And we just get this like message from like Saul and like Kurt, and he was like, what the hell are you guys on right now? And we're like, yo,
they're on one.
We are rolling. I don't know what else to tell you, but like y'all got slammed. And like again, like just like the memories of like this game specifically of like, because I wasn't that great at Halo, still not that good at Halo, right? Yeah. When I play Halo 3 and Reach, it was like usually like Zach and Buffa carrying my fucking useless corpse of a body, right?
Reach.
But Gears is like my game. It's mine and Gabe's game. We still go back to playing Gears 5, and you know we kind of like drop in, and it feels it's like getting on a bike. We just get right back into it. And again, like I think this is like the moment that I fell in love with the series. Again, as much as goofy as it can be of just being big meaty men, it's just like no, it's a good game. It is genuinely a very good game. I enjoy the way the story ends. You know what I mean? Big boom, save the world. We're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Gears 3 is like a big moment for me. Like as much as like as shallow as it can seem to from everybody else. Personal top 5. Fuck you.
Yes. Exactly. Make your own list. I should have put it on my OL. I love these games. Yeah. And I've done myself a disservice by not playing them again recently. So like I think it's beyond time for that.
Yeah. I think as much as like obviously some of it does not age as well as like a lot of the other games on like either of our lists, or even in general like a lot of other games don't age. This doesn't age as well as a lot of the games in terms of like the writing, even some of the voice acting. As much as I enjoy like the voice acting being kind of goofy, just angry men the whole time, like John DiMaggio just being himself but yelling.
Right.
Just the sheer amount of enjoyment I got out of this game in terms of like, you know, the game itself. The story was fun, you know, really clicking with like an online multiplayer shooter that I really enjoyed, and being able to, you know, kind of like roll with me and Gabe and kind of just take on the world. You know, like again, the sheer amount of enjoyment I got is why I put this on my personal top 5 of like the third games. Okay, so I finished off now. It's in my top of my snake, right? Cool. That sounds sexual. I don't want to say that. Okay, not saying that anymore. No, okay. So mine, my top, I guess, personal threequel, is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
It counts.
Yeah. So, yeah, because it was only the 1, 2, and then this. Not count. Did Link's Awakening come out before this? Does that count?
It's a Game Boy game.
Yeah, we're gonna go main like console save. Yeah. Okay, we'll play safe.
Every list that I saw has Link's Awakening and Link to the Past on it.
Did they?
So yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm a boring in the majority kind of guy.
Yeah.
But no, this game fucking rules.
It does.
I played this game as a kid on the SNES, and it didn't really click with me because I was dumb and tiny brained, and I wanted to play the Power Ranger side scroller more than anything else.
Same, bro.
The one, like the regular one and the one with Ivan Ooze.
Yeah.
Both rule. But so I played this game as a kid. I understand. I enjoyed it, but I didn't know where to go and do shit. You know what I mean?
Same.
So like later down the line when the Game Boy Advance came out and the SP came out.
Yeah.
My aunt, my Tita Ems, she's a gamer. She's like, oh, they put the game out again. I was like, oh wait, you know this one? You know what I mean? Because like we didn't realize when we were younger she played, because we knew she played Tetris with us when we were kids, but we didn't realize she played like Legend of Zelda games.
Right.
So like I remember like at one point she still remembered a bunch of shit, and she like started just playing my game, and I was like, oh wait, I don't know what I'm doing now though.
Wait, come back.
Hold on, wait a second. I need to learn what's happening.
Where do I go?
And yeah, like just in terms of like some of the best writing in all of the Legend of Zelda series, right? In terms of like world building, kind of even like expanding the world, right? Because this prepped a lot of stuff, like specifically Ganon taking a larger role, not instead of just being the big bad. Ganon role expansion. There's the Dark World kind of introduction.
Yep.
It's not technically a Dark World. It's technically like, you know, a time skip technically, right? Link Between Worlds is technically like the Dark World version of it. it's an introduction of like a massive storytelling tool that gets basically iterated upon a million times now in the Legend of Zelda series, right? We have like the Hyrule Low Rule from Link Between Worlds. We have the Ocarina of Time with the two different, you know what I mean, with the past,
Right.
past and past and the future. So like that's a massive like storytelling tool that gets introduced here and becomes a staple within the series, basically. A very good balance of like puzzles and combat, right? Like in the dungeons where it's like before, like in the original Legend of Zelda game, like it's like okay, just kill everything in the room and then the room unlocks.
Yeah.
And maybe bomb one thing and that's where the key is and you unlock the room, right? Shit like that. Here, there's like stuff like one, there's more weapons, more range weapons instead of just using the boomerang or the bow and arrow or the bow and arrow. Yeah, like, you know, like knowing like the fire wand can just light shit on fire. It's like, and then oh yeah, duh, light torches. No shit. You know what I mean? Or the what were they called? There was like a set of boots. Shit. But they basically allowed you to run.
Yeah.
And then
The
it charges, and then like it allows you to traverse shit as well in the dungeons.
Yep.
I'm kicking myself right now. Pegasus boots?
Sounds good.
Something like something shit like that. I don't know. But yeah, you know, but like yeah, there's these things that like allows for like, oh, this is part of your combat and you're part of your gear. But you know, try it out in this place. You know what I mean? Like you don't you kind of like you realize, oh, this is what they meant to fucking do. You know what I mean? They're more than just gear. You know what I mean? They're meant for you to try shit out and kind of experiment with them. The spin attack gets introduced in this game. That's obviously like a staple as well too. You know, like these like again staples that we see now started showing up really in this game.
You were right. Pegasus shoes, Pegasus boots.
Right there you go. Let's go. I still got it in me. Yeah, again, there's just so much in this game that just feels right. The writing is good. Thematically, the game is like really, really cool and dramatic right in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you're like the game's rainy and like thunderstormy, and then you're kind of making your way out of the castle because like shit's going wrong. It's like it's just it gets you invested very, very quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like I'll knock on Ocarina of Time for this part. Like Ocarina of Time like starts off kind of fucking slow.
It does.
It's a lot of it's like, hey, talk to fucking everybody here, and then hey, run over these logs over the water. Okay, cool, I guess. Just fucking let me get into the goddamn game already. You know what I mean? Right. This game literally kind of throws you right in.
Get out of the way, Milo. I don't want to fucking do the plot.
Exactly. It's like here's the thing: the plot comes right away. That's the best part of it.
I know. Yeah, the opening sequence of Link to the Past is so good.
If you look at the opening sequence from, or not opening sequence, but like the big sequence from Ocarina of Time, where it's literally. Is it Impa and Zelda escaping from the castle?
Yeah,
that's like the beginning of Link to the Past. It's like it's right there. It gives it to you that drama right off. You're invested so quickly. Link to the Past fucking rules because of that. The pacing's good, the writing's good, thematically the game's amazing. The pixel art's amazing in this game. Sound design's so good. This game is like again if not on like the list of it, on the list of like. Possibly perfect games, like close to the most close to perfect games as possible.
I give Link a lot of credit in that game though, because if all that shit happened right after I'd gotten out of bed, I wouldn't put up with any of it. I'd be like, she'll be alright.
She'll be fine.
She'll be alright. I can. This can wait till the morning.
Yeah, this game's it's so good. It's so well written and so it's well designed. I even putting it against like some of the newer. I'll put it against the rest of the entire series. Like this is the game that still stands out to me to this point. You know what I mean? Like, I like this better than I like Ocarina of Time.
Really good.
Yeah. As much as everyone wants to suck on Ocarina of Time's dick and put it at the top of their top 10s, but like, I think this is better than Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get people are gonna get angry for that.
Yeah,
for that statement.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, my number one is Ocarina of Time.
Oh my god.
No,
it's not even a 3.
No, it's definitely not. There is no way. There's no way to even spin that into a 3 of any kind.
Yeah, no. There's 3 letters in Ocarina, 3 words in Ocarina of Time.
Right, that's about it.
That's about.
Okay, my number one is Super Mario Brothers 3.
Okay,
I couldn't put Alpha 3 above it.
We talked about it before.
I couldn't put Alpha 3 above it. It's just, again, you talk about formative, complete package, yada yada yada. It's the best. It's so good. Everything's great.
The sprites are fantastic.
The music, the
music, the theme. Even though it's like a stage play, like that's the whole like
right.
Yeah, like it doesn't actually happen. Doesn't matter. It's fucking fun. Who fucking cares?
It happens when I'm playing the game.
Yeah.
That's really great, and then I'm gonna keep playing over and over again until I die.
Warp Flute was introduced in this game. The Angry Demon Son was introduced in this game.
Yep. The overworld, the frog suit.
Yeah,
hammer suit.
yeah, the Tanuki tail, the tail and the suit.
Yeah, the Tanuki suit and the leaf. Yeah, we're both in
Yes.
this
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's so much stuff in this one. This is the one where like, oh, you start seeing like the cool, goofy stuff that like Mario is gonna do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because in the first game, it was just the fire flower.
Just the fire flower.
Yeah, and invisibility. That's about it.
Yeah.
2, Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where like the mechanics of Mario start becoming like a thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Flight, different suits that serve different purposes.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Like more individual character mechanics, basically.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, the overworld. Yeah, that was introduced in 3.
Yeah.
Though we had Warp Flute and all the other stuff, and like changing up how to speedrun, how you want to route your game. You know what I
Right.
mean? You want to just play it straight? Yeah, you can. You know what I mean? If you want to skip a couple of things, do it.
Exactly. If you do you want to have to play 1-3? Do you want to play 1-4?
Yeah.
Do you want to play which stages in World 6 do you want to play? Things like that.
I'm gonna give it one knock personally.
Okay.
The auto scrolling levels.
Yeah, not ideal.
The Bowser warship things, right? The flying ship
Yeah.
ones. Everyone misses something, but overall the game is
Right.
still like a solid like 90 out of like 100 basically, right?
Yeah,
It's very, very good.
I agree.
I mean, I argued that I like it more than Super Mario World, so I know you said you're not gonna.
I'm not gonna
You're
fight
not.
you.
You're not gonna make a choice on it though. But
I'm not gonna fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say. I love them all the same. Like
Yeah.
they're all great to me, and that's it. I mean, we've talked about it verbatim. We talked about it
A lo-
in the
it-
first anniversary episode. We've talked about it multiple times since
Yeah.
then. Yeah, Super Mario 3 is the best.
It's so good.
We're
It's
gonna.
so good.
I'm gonna go play it. I'm gonna go play all these games again.
Quick question: do you remember in Super Mario All Stars? Did you play that one?
Yeah,
Did they remake 3's art style as well?
yeah.
Like the Super Mario World style art. Okay, cool. They did.
No, well, it's not really Mario World. It's
Kinda
just
touch-
it's just a
Touched
16-bit.
up. Okay, so it's more detailed characters,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
They all have the same art style, if I remember correctly.
Did they?
I'm pretty
It's
sure.
been so long since I touched it at this point. I think I have it in my little emulator too. I mean, and also the real game. Because even then, like like detail wise, because I think that was a relatively late release, right, for the NES.
No,
Was it not?
no, it came out with the NES. That was the game I got with my Super Nintendo. Was Mario All Stars?
No, the regular, Super Mario 3.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Super Mario 3. I think was
Like I
one
want
of the
to
last.
like yeah, because I want to say it came out like around the same time as the SNES came out,
Yeah,
like or at least close within a year or something. So they were clearly like pushing the edge of like how much power the NES can put out.
yeah.
But like you look because put it up against Super Mario 1.
It looked like a completely
It's
different
insane.
system.
It looks like a different system.
Yeah,
Like Mario actually has a gut. You can kind of tell that this Mario's
Yeah.
Mario's got a little bit of a tubby body on him. But yeah, like, it's a very, very different game. It's very again very stylistically and artistically designed like differently kind of thing. I'm glad that you at least have it on your list as well as me then. So there we go. Don't gotta argue against it.
no, definitely not. This is my shit. I love this game. I will always love this game. I want to go play it.
I mean, it's an easy pick up put down game. That's,
It is.
That's a nice
It is
one.
absolutely,
Especially on any emulator, just put a save state on there and just kind of play through.
and as like an adult, like it's
You kind of slam through it now.
like a day or two.
Yeah. Okay, I've got one last thing here that I want to do.
Okay.
Kind of a surprise twist
All right,
here.
go for it.
Is there a 3 that you ever wish would have came out?
Capcom versus SNK 3. Let's see what else here. I should have thought of this a little more.
I'm throwing it as a surprise right now, so that's why.
Well, I've got the third of my Doom remakes. It just came out. Doom: The Dark
True,
Ages
yeah.
just came out, so I do have that to look forward to. I got to clear up some space. I got to
Mhm.
clear up some games here. I'm trying to make my way through some backlogs, and I got to move. So like, I gotta,
Yeah, you got life things to deal with first.
yeah, I do.
Priorities.
Let me think. What else? What do you have in mind?
Okay, so I'll start ranting on mine while you think of yours.
Yeah.
Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah.
The Mega Man Legends game that never came out.
Yep.
That was one of the series that I really liked and I fell in love with. It's kind of like a dungeon crawler game, right? Because you're kind of you're literally exploring ruins.
Right.
I've talked about my love of like the Mega Man Legends series in general. I have 1, 2, and Misadventures of Tron Bonne
Yep.
as part of my grail of my collection, of my gaming collection. And I just wish that it even had a chance
Yeah.
to exist
Yeah.
at this point. Cause like I remember like back in like 2012 or some shit, like a I remember like a petition came out. You know what I mean? Like when petitions for random shit just started becoming popular. They're like, oh yeah, make the Mega Legends 3. We wanted it all the time, and it's like 200,000 people signed it. It's like that's not a lot. You know what I mean? And at the very least, if it doesn't come out or it never gets, it's probably never gonna get made at this point. I would like to see like a true fan of those games, like another true fan of those games, make a spiritual successor to that type of game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like
dig it.
the controls are a little wonky, right? That's kind of like the charm of it at this point, right? But like that kind of like weird 3D explorer game was just so fun and so interesting to me at the time. And I would love to see if someone makes like a fan project or even like a non Mega Man spiritual successor for that game. I think it'd be very cool to see. Yeah, that was, I was kind of thinking about it when I was like putting my list together, and I was like, damn it, that's never gonna come out.
Yep.
Like you said, that's just gone. That's just gone
Yep.
forever at this point.
Yep.
I mean, unless Capcom finally decides to, finally come back. They are reviving a lot of their series, so they're kind of bringing a lot of stuff back. So
Yeah.
they're actually acknowledging some of their own properties that they had not gotten a game in forever. They had like surveys coming up,
Yeah, they had a lot of different surveys.
like, "Hey, what would you like to see in like an upcoming game series?" And I was like, "Mega Man Legends 3, please, just give me it."
Was it even on there? Was it even on the
No,
list?
I was like the other, like I had to like write it in. I was like, please make Mega Man Legends 3. Even though like I'm sure like I don't know, like some of the original like people who made those games probably aren't even around anymore at this point.
Right.
But it's like I was desperate. I was sad. It was a moment of weakness for me.
I understand completely.
Listeners, if you've never played them and you've heard me rant about it however many times at this point, please check out the Mega Man Legends games. They're very, very fun. They're very different from a Mega Man game. They are just like a third-person shooter and like dungeon exploration games. But no, genuinely very, very fun and interesting, weird control scheme. And it's got a fun story to it. So there you go. Check that one out. Okay, I ranted for a couple minutes there. You can find anything here for yourself?
Capcom versus SNK 3.
That's your big one?
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the one I want.
So when was the last Capcom SNK 2?
2001.
2 was when that came out?
2001.
That's wild.
EO came out a few years later,
Okay.
which is basically just like a couple of balance changes and
it wasn't
patches.
actually like a new game.
Right. So what EO ended up doing was just going on to the three, like PS2, Xbox original, and GameCube
Okay.
from Dreamcast.
Oh, so like the 0.5 gen move over kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
it moved it up. It patched a lot of stuff out. It got rid of a couple of the unintended game mechanics that the first game had.
Word.
And introduced a few other things. So that was really the game that I spent the most time with, which is why, like, so I don't know if you've seen any of this, I guess not, but like the big deal with the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is that all of the other games in the collection are the arcade ports.
Oh, okay.
CVS 2 is EO. It's the remake.
Okay.
So
Is that liked more?
no, it is
No.
not, because everybody played the arcade version
Got it.
that had
Well, that's kind of the argument for most of these, right? People always want the arcade
right.
version.
Everybody
Okay.
wants the arcade versions, except for like the Power Stone games that have console exclusive content, and a couple of the other games that have console exclusive content.
Okay.
But the console exclusive content from EO took away
Stuff
the stuff from the arcade game, specifically roll cancels, which make your special moves in C Groove invincible.
Okay.
So it's like a high level technique that players use.
it's tech.
Right.
Yeah.
It's high level tech, but so basically what everybody wanted was the arcade port of this one game and the console ports of all the others, and what they got was the reverse. They got
it.
all
Okay,
the
okay.
arcade ports for all the other games and the console port of CBS 2.
That's kind of
Probably not what they wanted, but I think Capcom just didn't want the shenanigans of like the roll cancels, and they didn't
Yeah.
want the repeat of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the MVC collection to pop up on the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, where people were like refunding the game because Justin Wong kept beating their ass.
Yeah.
So they didn't want like Boss and all these other like
But like,
top
but
CBS 2
like,
guys. I know. Get good.
get
but,
good. Like that's kind of no.
Right.
I know it's funny coming from me because I bitch about it, but again, I was a fighting game guy.
Right.
Get fucking good.
Just get good. I know, but no. If you ask me what third game I would want, it would be Capcom vs. SNK 3.
Okay. No,
Even though
very
we're
fair.
kind of getting it with like Garo is gonna have 2 Street Fighter characters,
Mhm.
and Street Fighter 6 has 2 SNK characters,
And possibly more coming down the line, right?
maybe. Yeah, it
I
could
know
very well be.
I know it's all rumor, obviously, at this point. But this is like the closer we're getting to like a handshake between both of the
Right.
game series coming out,
We're
right?
getting
So
there.
we're like, okay, if everyone plays nice,
Yeah.
we might get it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
we're gonna
Like
get what we want.
versus like the whole Tekken thing that
Right. That you got Akuma and everybody hates Akuma.
Everyone hates Akumas.
In Tekken 7.
That's
but,
all you're getting. That's it. We're gonna end a relationship here.
Go to hell. Harada's trying to get Waffle House in the game now. So
Harada, first off, love Harada as well.
based.
Too. He's so based.
He's the best.
But it's just like, man, if that ever got a second game, that'd be fucking sick. Fucking Street Fighter Cross Tekken or
Yo.
whatever. But
Preach. Give me
God,
the game on in a collection. Give me like a crossover collection
yeah,
where I can just play it.
all of the crossover games,
Right.
all of the Capcom SNKs, all of the Marvel Capcoms, all of the X. Again, we're kind of getting it now piecemeal,
Right.
but like everything. Street Fighter Cross Tekken is locked behind this community patch.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like lost to most people's memories.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
There's like I joined you, right? You
Yeah.
told me about the community patch thing,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, this fucking rules.
Yeah. It's
But
great.
still kind of like off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you can't have all the features, can't have all the characters at the same time,
Right.
unless you're playing locally, basically. So it's like it's not there.
Right.
If they just give us that without the fucking Windows, what is it? Windows
Games
fucking
for Windows
Games
Live.
for Windows Live. Just remove that
Yeah.
and give it back to us properly. I'll be so happy.
Same.
But you know, that's complete another tangent we've
Yeah.
already gone
That's
before. but-
that's a whole nother thing. But
Yeah.
we'll get back to that. But
But yeah, give us like a full cross. I would be absolutely down for that.
Yeah.
To give us like a full crossover series.
give us.
collection.
But I mean, they have done it with the Marvel collection. They've done it with the
Yeah.
Capcom collection. They re-released SVC Chaos.
Yeah.
So like the only two, it would just be Street Fighter Cross Tekken and Tatsunoko versus Capcom, in like this one standalone.
Oh, true. Yeah.
This one standalone
They've
thing
given us basically everything else already. At this
that
point.
they'd have to charge $40 for to get all the rights fees back for the Tatsunoko characters.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's why you'll never see it again. But
Yeah.
in any case, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
So, listeners, thanks for listening. If you made it this far, you know what the deal. Give us a like, subscribe, comment, share. Let us know what we missed. Which games did we miss? Which third games did we miss? Which third game do you want to see? Yeah, let us know. And
3 years.
3 years.
We're here. Look at us.
I know, we did it.
Still doing it. Guys, thank you so much for all the support. See you guys in the next episode. Take care.
Goodbye. I just made eye contact with Broly.
Oh, yeah, he's chilling over here. He's still here. He's still here in his naked glory, just, caked up, staring at both of us.
I'm trying to get into it. I'm getting ready to start.
You know what? Put it on the table.
And all here he is, Jiren, just fucking squatted up. There they are. This is the funniest fucking.
Jiren stares at me. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, now at least I can look over here and Broly's not making eye contact with me. All right, let's try this again.
Okay.